Greetings, programs! Welcome to the Rune space! A little bit ago, almost a month now, I mentioned a personality quiz known as the Big Five, supposedly backed by science and is said to be the most accurate out there. Directed to the Big Five quiz that is said to be backed by science, but when I checked it out, the articles they posted on their website used AI. Oh! We'll see about that. I have no idea what they're pulling from or what their criteria is, so let's just get into it, shall we? In the words of my generation, F it, we ball. The following test contains 120 questions, which is estimated to take you about 10 minutes to complete. We'll see about that. Timer? Hello? Okay. Well, we're just gonna speedrun. That timer's giving me anxiety. Worry about... First question. Worry about things. Very accurate. Make friends easily. Moderately inaccurate. I don't even want to get into it. I'll get into it in a voiceover or something. Have a vivid imagination. Very accurate. Next. They're giving me 3 questions at a time, and there are 120 of them. Yeah, 10 minutes is definitely gonna be about it. Trust others. I trust people to look after their own interest, whether that is an honest way or a dishonest way. Complete tasks successfully. I'm gonna say neutral again. Get angry easily. Love large parties. Very inaccurate. Believe in the importance of art. Very accurate. I would be a hypocrite if I didn't. Use others for my own ends. Say that like it's a bad thing. I'll say neutral, because if someone can do something that I can't, that need for me to get a task done, I'm gonna ask for their help, so technically I am using them. You like to tidy up. I'll say moderately accurate. I have a system, and I like when things are clean. Often feel blue. Actually, I feel green most of the Moderately inaccurate. Take charge. Hell no, but I will if I have to. I'm not a take charge person, but if there's literally no one else to take charge, I will, and I will be complaining about it the entire time, so... Again, neutral. It's time to say my personality is gray. Prefer variety to routine. Now, this question is going to take me 5 minutes to answer. Prefer variety to routine. I like routine. My ADHD needs routine. But I also hate routine, because then I get bored or feel trapped. I am technically breaking routine right now. I was supposed to record this on Monday. It is 11 o'clock on Sunday night. Because I just was bored. I like routine, I need routine, but I also like variety, but I can't just have whimsical variety because I need routine, and if someone just dropped on me, hey, we're gonna go do this thing immediately, you're coming right with me, it's like, this wasn't in the cards. You should have warned me. Like, I need a day in advance before you change plans on me. So, yep, 5 minutes. I'm going to say moderately inaccurate. Because I prefer routine, but I like a little bit of variety. I'm gonna say I only like my excitement in fiction, so I'm gonna say neutral. Reading challenging material. If it's dense, man, I'm gonna need an audiobook or something. Trying to read the Silmarillion was so hard. Listening to the Silmarillion was just as hard. Reading and listening to the Silmarillion at the same time was only slightly easier. So what kind of challenging material are we talking about? I'm gonna say moderately accurate, because I do like a challenge. I do like intellectual challenges, which is why I take quizzes and do all these things, but if it's too dense to where I just don't get it, I'm gonna get irritated and just leave. Believe that I am better than others. Look away. Look away. I am always prepared. Nope. I try. You know what? I over-prepare. Panic easy. Yep. Radiate joy. I am told I do. But that's mostly because I need to make people laugh to feel good about myself. Not just because I want people to laugh because it's good for them to laugh. I need to make people laugh so I can feel good. So I can feel like I have a purpose. So, I don't know how to answer this question. Do I feel like I radiate joy, or have I been told I radiate joy? So I'm gonna say moderately accurate, because I've been told I'm funny and I brighten up a room with my jokes and whatnot. I don't know. Okay, sympathize with the homeless. What's it? Being homeless is not a political statement. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Being homeless or supporting the homeless is not a political statement. It is a question of human ethics. I sympathize with the homeless. That is moderately accurate. However, I do realize a lot of homeless people are there because of drugs or drug-related things. I'm not gonna go out of my way to screw them over. But until I know their character, I don't help people until I know their character. And that's just with anybody. Now, if there was like an emergency in a burning building, or someone was in a river, I call the cops, you know, get involved in that way. But if someone's just panhandling for money, it's like, I'll give you water and food. I've handed out water to people because it was hot. Jump into things without thinking. No, that's moderately inaccurate. I'd say very, but I do things on a whim as well. I just overthink my whims, so it's kind of weird. Fear for the... Oh, I misread that. Fear for the worst. Not... Fear for the worst. Yeah. Is anxiety a personality trait? Let's open up that question right now. Is anxiety or ADHD a personality trait, or do those just have an effect on your personality to the point where they become indistinguishable? Feel comfortable around people. Neutral. Enjoy wild flights of fancy. Again, flights of fancy in fiction? Or like just daydreaming? Hell yes. But if someone is say, hey, let's just take a trip to Italy right now. Let's pack our bags and go to Italy right now. I'm gonna say, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not do that. Like, ever. Give me 5 months to at least sort of learn Italian. Let's book a hotel. We need to book flights. Do you know anybody in Italy? Are we... Because if you take a tour bus or any taxi, they're gonna screw you over. Flights of fancy. I'm gonna say neutral just because I don't know what they mean by that exactly. Percent 10. We've already passed 20-minute mark and it's 28%. Well, I'm doing it for a video, so. I take these personality quizzes to help me start to get to know myself, but at the same time, I'm afraid to get to know myself because I know myself, if that makes sense. Like, I know there are some things about me that are true. I just don't want them confirmed by a third party or get a second opinion on it, because if they are confirmed, that means I have that genuine problem and it needs to be dealt with because it is a toxic trait. That in itself is also a very toxic trait. So, but that's just something else entirely. I do not dislike myself. I dislike aspects of myself. But in general, no. Try to lead others. Nope! I am not a leader, but I will give advice, so neutral. Feel others' emotions. This is empath shit. No, I cry when I see other people crying. But not because I'm sad, it's just, like, when my mom starts crying, oh my god. I don't feel other people's emotions, per se. I do get emotional when and I can, like, put myself in their situation easy. I can do that. I can try to see it from other people's perspective, solely from the perspective of how would I feel if that were me. But I don't think that's empathic at all. I think that's just being empathetic, but I don't think that's empathic, okay? I'm not a betazoid. I'm not Diana Troy. No matter how much I'd like to be. So I'm gonna say neutral again because I'm not sure what they mean by it. I wish there was an option where, like, don't understand the question. I'm afraid to draw attention to myself. In public, yes. On the internet, everybody please look at me. But I'm not afraid to draw attention to myself. I just don't want people watching me. If that makes sense. Like, I'm just inaccurate. Moderately inaccurate. Avoid okay, that's inaccurate. I do not avoid philosophical stuff. Think highly of myself. I'm just masking my overshadowing insecurities that I'm never good enough for anybody's affection. Carry out my plans. Yes, sir. What the hell kind of question is that? I guess I have to put I in front of all these questions. I become overwhelmed by events. I become overwhelmed by events that will never happen. Very accurate. I have maladaptive daydreaming. I have a lot of fun. I actually, moderate. Moderate, I do have a lot of fun. Believe that there is no absolute right or wrong. Actually, that is inaccurate because there are some things that in no situation would be right. That is inaccurate. I believe there is no reason to force yourself on someone else sexually. There is no reason for that. That is objectively absolute wrong. Feel sympathy for those who are worse off than myself. I feel like I can't feel bad for myself because there are others that are worse off. I am afraid of many things. Nope, I am only afraid of 4 things. Not being loved, not being good enough, spiders, and orcas. I have a few DMs that have been left unread, mostly because I don't have the energy to deal with them sometimes. Love to daydream, very accurate. I had a very lovely one this morning. Handle tasks smoothly, that's inaccurate. Lose my temper, yes, but I keep it I try to keep it under control, so I'm not a violent person. Although, not 20 minutes ago did I was screaming at my screen because someone at a creepypasta was being stupid. I was yelling at the TV like a suburban dad watching football. So I'm gonna say moderately inaccurate. I have a lid on it, but it's not like I'm breaking shit. Prefer to be alone, moderately accurate. Do not like poetry. Now here's the thing. I like poetry because, in my opinion, I think songs are poetry, just put to music. That's all. That's what I fully believe. Studying poetry in class pissed me the fuck off. in American literature. I hated that so much because for me, like for poetry, for me, it has to have a deeper meaning. But we were studying a poem some guy wrote on that he left on his roommate's fridge saying that, sorry, I ate the leftover plums. That was literally the entire poem. And that just, what the hell is that? So I'm gonna say neutral because I'm gonna say inaccurate because songs. Studying poetry, however, fucking hate it. Again, I'm used to take advantage of others. Leave a mess in my room. There is a pile of clothes on one of my bookshelves right now. I am moderately accurate. I am often down in the dumps. Not really, but when it does hit, oh my god, it hits for like 2 days. Take control of things, neither. Nah, not really. No. Rarely notice my emotional reactions. I am overly aware of my emotional reactions to things. I'm indifferent to the feeling of others. Alright, now we're getting into inaccurate territory. Break rules. Depends. The amount of illegal shit I've actually done. You know what? I am not elaborating. I'm gonna say moderately accurate. Yes and no, so neither accurate nor inaccurate. I can neither confirm nor deny. Insult people! You don't have to tell me twice. Hey, your mom, yeah! Your mother's so fat she's on both sides of the family tree. Easily resistant, that's inaccurate. Enjoy being reckless, that's inaccurate. Have difficulty understanding abstract ideas. I have difficulty understanding objective ideas. The abstract ones I got down, so that's very inaccurate. Have a high opinion of myself. See, that's the same question that they asked like 3 times. I'm gonna say neutral, because... Waste my time. I can't get over how these... Oh, I just read the love life. Inaccurate. Supposed to be asking with these questions. These aren't even questions. These are half-baked statements. Why waste my time? Yes, I waste my time. Do I feel like this quiz is a waste of my time, or do I willfully do that? What are we talking about here? What the fuck is this question? Yes, I have a love life? Or, like, very accurate that I have a love life? Or do I want a love life? I love life. What the fuck is this question? It's inaccurate. What the fuck does this mean? I want one? Or do I have one? Or is it shitty? Is love life good? Is it bad? What the fuck? I'm gonna say neutral, because I don't understand the question. What the hell is that? Again! Get the fuck out of here. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love. Get stressed out easily. This quiz is stressing me out, man. Yeah, it's very accurate. I'm actually overheating a little bit. Keep others at a distance. Inaccurate. I like to get close to people, but only at an arm's length. So I guess neutral then. Like to get lost in thought. No. I like to be in my thoughts, not lost, because then I get nothing done. But that's not what they mean. So I'm gonna say moderately accurate, because I just like to daydream. Distrust people. I trust people to look after their own interests. But that's not what they mean. Damn it! They mean being trusting, meaning you just believe whatever they say and take it at face value, even if they're lying to you. I trust people to be dishonest, if that makes sense. Because then you'll know they'll always be dishonest. It's the honest ones you have to look out for. So you don't know if they're gonna do something incredibly stupid. Not easily annoyed. That is inaccurate. That is very inaccurate. I get annoyed with everything. Avoid crowds. Moderately accurate. Do not enjoy being at art museums. I've actually never been to an art museum. Hold on. No, all the museums I've been to have been science or history. I've never been to an art museum. I'm gonna say neutral because I've never been. I feel like it'd be fun. I feel like I would like it, so I'm gonna say moderately inaccurate because I feel like I would like it. Obstruct others' plans. What the? I try not to, and if I accidentally do, I feel shitty, so I'm gonna say very inaccurate. Well, actually, no. I have obstructed other people's plans, but not intentionally, it's just by virtue of existing. Personality quiz my ass. You're just getting me to trauma dump for free. Don't understand people who get emotional. That's wildly inaccurate. I am one of those people. Take no time for I take no time for others. That's inaccurate. Break my promises. I try not to. Okay, we're almost done, I think. 30 minutes into this 10-minute quiz. What do you mean by that? Attached to conventional ways. What do you mean? Conventional as in, am I gonna call an electrician or a psychic first? Because the conventional route, but that's not conventional, that's just scientific. What the hell do they mean? I'm gonna say neutral. Mostly because I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Alright, please fill up with that. Let's get this over with. Get back at others. No, but I wish I did, honestly. Inaccurate, but I wish I did. Put little time and effort into my work. That's inaccurate. I put my whole heart and soul into my art, and I lost my mind in the process. Am able to... That's inaccurate. Act wild... Oh my god. Okay. Act wild and crazy. No. Just... quietly insane. And not interested in theoretical discussions. That is very inaccurate. I boast about my virtues. That is also inaccurate. What have I been doing this whole time? Oh, I boast about my blind sides, obviously, but only in a way that makes me look good. So, Enneagram 3. Have difficulty starting tasks. That's accurate. Remain calm under pressure. Nope. Okay. If it's my issue, I'm panicking. If it's someone else's issue, I'm cool. Like, this is just pressure in general. So I'm just gonna say inaccurate, because I'm usually on the inside, I'm freaking the fuck out. Always look on the bright side of life. Believe that we should be tough on crime. I believe that we should be tough on criminals, but only the ones that are like, you know, like actually horrible crimes against humanity. If you like stole a TV or something, it's like, bro, whatever, just give it back or whatever. But when it comes to like, yeah, crimes against humanity, oh yeah, or I want them to drag them in chains, then to suffer, and then to die in darkness. But I'm not gonna do that just for a parking ticket, okay? Act without thinking, that's also inaccurate. See results. Alright, what the hell you got for me? It took me 40 minutes to complete your damn quiz. Neuroticism. Extraversion. Openness to express. Agreeableness. Consciousness. That is such a weird word. Alright, what the hell does this mean? High, indicating that you are easily upset, often by what most people consider the normal demands of living. People consider you sensitive and emotional. Okay, anxiety, anger. can't believe they said my anxiety and anger are equal, but if you actually think about it, yeah. Depression, self-consciousness, slightly lower than my anger. Yeah, that's funny. Vulnerability, okay, there's moderation, but immoderation, meaning lack of moderation, higher than my vulnerability. How is immoderation higher than my self-conscious? Probably because that's how I voted. Yeah, I know what all these are. Extroversionism. Friendly is indicating you are... Wait, is low... Oh, okay. You score on extroversionism... extroversion. Introvert. We all knew that. Cheerfulness. I know what cheerfulness means. But yeah, I know that. Openness to express. This is what we're doing right now. You enjoy novelty, variety, and change. Curious, imaginative, and creative. Keep talking. Stop. Oh, no. Stop it. I'm turning red. You're too kind. You're too kind. Keep it coming. My intellect is higher than my emotionality. By 2. Both scores on the scale are more oriented to facts than fantasy. Well, that's not for sure. Emotionalness, intellect. Yes. My intellect and autistic interests are the 2 most important central aspects of openness to express. High scores on intellect love to play with ideas. They're open-minded to new and unusual ideas, like to debate intellectual issues. They enjoy riddles, puzzles, and brain teasers. I actually don't. That's the thing though. Because I enjoy puzzles. I love puzzle games. Brain teasers, I only like but riddles are one of those things where it's like, some riddles are like, how the hell would I have known that is the answer? Like, this one riddle, I'll tell you. Okay, like, Sarah's in a room and there are balloons on the floor. They're full of air, so they're not floating. They're just sitting on the floor. She leaves. An hour later, she comes back and the balloons are floating 3 inches above the floor. What happened? The answer to the riddle? A pipe burst and the room flooded. And the balloons were sitting on top of the water. I was told that riddle in the 4th grade. I am still mad about it. Low scores on intellect prefer dealing with other... Whoa. I have a score 19 intellect, okay? I can read. Low scores on intellect prefer dealing with either people or things rather than ideas. They regard intellectual exercises as wasted time. Intellect should not be equated with intelligence. A truer statement has never been said. Intellect is an intellectual style, not an intellectual ability. The way they're using it. Although high scores on intellect score slightly higher on low intellect individuals on standardized intelligent. Wait, okay. Although high scores on intellect score slightly higher than low intellect individuals on standardized intelligence tests. That is accurate. I did pass all of the standardized state tests. That's how I was able to graduate. But on my GPU, I was, not GPU. What the hell is it called? GPA. Wait, I was 5th in my class when I graduated. Alright, agreeableness, trust, morality, altruism, cooperation, modesty, and sympathy. Huh. How about that? Neutral and trust. A person with high trust assumes people are fair, honest, and good. People on low Selfish, very low. Well, I'm neutral, so that means they are both. There's nuance to trust. Okay, I watch Star Trek. Morality, altruism, corporation. Alright, let's see. Consciousness. Now this is interesting. Because we all have a consciousness. Consciousness concerns the way we control, regulate, and direct our impulses. Okay, that's the way they're using it. Which is very interesting. Self-efficiency, orderliness, dutifulness, achievement, striving, surprised that's not higher, self-discipline, and cautiousness. My self-worth is tied to my achievement status, which is why I don't like playing video games, because of the achievements. I'll just become an achievement hunter, and that's just not healthy for me. Self-efficiency, orderliness, neutral, okay, that's it. Just a bunch of graphs. Honestly, I'm not even sure what I was expecting. In most quizzes, the results are usually along the lines of, "Congratulations, you are this thing," or some variation of, "Here's your results, it's a tie." But I guess this isn't really a personality quiz per se, it's actually more of a psychological profile. Like a blood chart for the brain. That being said, I didn't really feel anything once I finished the quiz. I mean, I read my results, and it basically told me what I already knew, but it didn't open up anything for debate. It didn't make me consider my result as anything to compare. It literally took my answers and put them in a bar chart. Personally, I would have preferred a pie graph, but that's because mines are circular. While the visual aid is nice, I'm still just me. Nothing was revealed. If this was for someone who had never given themselves any thought, or if this is their first time being introspective, I can see the bid 5 meaning something for them. But for me, I like to get something out of my results. I need to have something to consider, to recontextualize, to find camaraderie. There's no dopamine hit here. Give me something to pursue. I mean, yeah. It's that I overindulge in my cravings, my trust is low, and I'm overstimulated by crowds. Yeah? And? I knew that! Could you, I don't know, suggest a few career paths? Show like-minded role models for me to look up to? Thanks for the stats, I guess. What am I supposed to do with these? Make a D&D character? I'll be right back. Just to see if I was crazy, I asked my sister to try the test as well. We both didn't understand the love life question. Her results were also nothing new, and she said, and I quote, "I mean, I liked seeing the numbers together, but it didn't actually help me with anything. Glad to see my depression stats are up. This entire quiz feels like a no shit Sherlock. Nothing new was revealed. Just recontextualized what I already knew in the form of a bar chart." If that kind of thing helps you in any way, go off. Links in the description. For me, an artist and a right brain, numbers don't really spark anything. My persona reveals more about my character than this quiz. Well, now I'm sad. Myers-Briggs makes 100% more sense for me, and does more for me. What people forget about personalities and psychology in general is it's personal, meaning of affecting or belonging to a particular person rather than to anyone else. There is no way to objectively diagnose a person's person outside of physical medicine. It's all abstract and illogical. Accuracy be damned, we are all delusional creatures. Delusional for thinking we are more than what we are, but also for underestimating and underappreciating our most beautiful complexities. That's it for this one, folks. Like, subscribe, comment if you got anything out of this. I am always curious about the other perspective. And we will meet again in the stars. Space out!